Hello. This is an interesting day. By the way, I've got some children outside. Well, not my children, but there are some children outside, and they're making quite a lot of noise. So I appreciate you can't see me at the moment. I'm just about trying to set up. Hopefully you can hear me. I know I can. I know there are some people watching, but I don't want to call you out. There you go. Hey, Cody, how are you? Colby, sorry, not Cody. Good evening. Hope everybody's safe and looking well forward. Well, I'm hoping to make this a more regular thing. Let me turn on my lights. Now, the one problem with this is I'm planning on making terrain, so we'll see how well this goes. Let me get to the. So I only have. That's a bit on the bright side, that Jay. I only have one. That light's flashing. Do apologise. Technical difficulties. Basically, I've got one capture card, and the reason. So basically, I have to use a crap camera from my face, so we can have a good camera for the terrain. So like, then we would have a good camera. There's no lights on this at the minute, but a good camera for that, and a bad camera for my face, which I figured is probably the better way, the better way around. I can probably fix this, I think, a little bit if I turn the exposure. I didn't quite fix it, did it? But let's see if I can change that a little bit. I mean, it's more human, but not necessarily amazing. I just sort of sprung this on people, so not really like expecting a shed ton of people to turn up or anything like that. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. The plan is, we'll see how feasible this is. I'm going to start working on a new piece of terrain, and hopefully everything's going to work. You're going to see my fat bum. You're going to see everything. I figured if I'm going to record some videos, I can maybe record it live. Obviously, it does make this camera ridiculously bright, but it's the best I've got. My mic is sort of stuck to the floor, but that is what it is. So, yeah. I mean, it looks okay. You'll be able to see what I'm doing. I think the downside to that is I am actually planning on recording this for a video as well, but not using the camera, not using this camera. I would, in fact, be using. Well, the camera's not there. That's a great prep there. Great prep. Oh, it's something's stuck on something. So I would, in fact, be using this camera, but I've not even put the the SD card in it. There's quite a bit of delay on this stream, I've just realised, because I've just watched that back. But it is what it is. See, the problem with that is, I wonder if... Thing is, if I put it over there, it'll be too bright, and then you can't see anything. Do not have a good solution to this yet, so bear with me. We're trying. We're doing it live, as well, sadly, as Alex Jones would say, but perhaps not the best person to be quoting any time in life, but especially now. But yeah, so that is the plan. This is what we're doing. Check Facebook, make sure nobody's like saying anything. Hopefully the stream is fine. I sort of want to listen to it back. It says excellent condition, but we'll see. It also says 8 minutes out of 102, which I didn't state how long the stream was going to be on for. It's just presuming that. But whatever. Let's get the SD card in. That's the plan. Get it in. Get it on the tripod. Yeah, so obviously this is how I make my terrain. So I can't have the camera that's connected to the screen pick up. I can't record at the same time, basically. Otherwise, I would do that. Plus, it's not necessarily the shots that I'd want it to be, so that's that. That is that. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I want to do this a little bit more often, but depends how feasible it is, really, I guess. Peter spilled green paint on this t-shirt without ever knowing. I wonder how long that's been there. So, yeah. Yep, professional. thankfully, the one camera that's stable is up there. You can't really like beep, 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 beep. So yeah. What am I doing? I've got that camera. I've got that camera. I've got this on here. My mic connected to me. I can see the chat. I can't see the chat as well. Maybe one thing I was supposed to do was to get a tablet so I could have the chat over here. Now what I'm actually planning on making is some Netcon stuff. Obviously the 40k announcements have been like revealed today or shown today, and everybody's going to be happy about like, let's make that. What I'm going to very quickly do is listen to my stream back. This is going to sound awful because you're going to be able to hear it, but I'm just going to do it. Netcon stuff. Obviously the 40k announcements. It doesn't sound that bad. It's more delayed than I wanted. I've selected the low latency, but I've not selected ultra low latency, which I obviously might do next time. Ooh, let me. God, I'm so like technologically hapless. The Facebook group. Hey Kobe, if you're still here, where did you see that I was streaming? Just out of interest. It's fine if you shut off. I haven't really, like I said, I've not really promoted this. I just completely did it out of the blue. But I'll do that here. I'm live. Just messaging in the Discord. Hi, oh J Young Tech Guy. Is that how you want me? Or is it Jung? I'm gonna say J Young. How are you? Hope you're very well. Thank you for stopping by. Just bear with me on the technological side. I may be failing. There's a couple of things I was explaining, like I've got a camera, I've got the crap webcam on me rather than my good camera on me, because I've got a good like whatever camcorder up here, but that's actually not the camera that I will record my videos with, because my videos will be recorded with this camera. So it's an interesting setup, but hopefully you can see everything that I'm doing, which I guess is the most important bit. I will sort of like, when I'm actually getting to making the terrain, I will make the terrain. But yeah, Jay Young, did you watch the 40k thing today, or what game do you play? Or do you just make terrain? Some people just make terrain, which, if I'm honest, I'm sort of getting into. I'm just sort of making stuff just because I want to make it, rather than actually needing it, which is a bit weird, but I enjoy it, so it is what it is. Yeah, what am I doing? Oh, I've got some paracetamol because there's some kids next door, very loud, making screamy noises, which I don't want to be an old grumpy man and complain, but, you know, dead loud, innit? Just, I'm going to have some paracetamol before anybody wonders what I'm taking, but yeah, I've also got a Freddo. Although we don't actually know how much this Freddo cost because they were in a multitude of, it was in a multi-pack. First initial, last name, fair enough. If the first name is Jason, that would be a great name because that's mine, but if it's not, you know, it can't all be perfect. You found the stream, your YouTube's perfect. Happy to see you were streaming. Yeah, I've just surprised everybody. So I am sort of hoping to stream more consistently on the weekends, probably. Like, yeah, weekends, probably Saturday and Sunday nights, or evenings, afternoons, whatever you want to call it, this time, around this time. Your 40 play from long back. I don't know what Ulwe Cavalry is. If it's 40, if that's a 40k reference, then I'm sort of like getting into 40k. Well, that is more awful than I anticipated because of that giant bright light. So I will turn that back. Yeah, the new edition is sort of getting me onto it a little bit more than I thought it would. I don't know why I bought that drink, because if I'm drinking I can't talk, and if I can't talk then the stream is quiet. So yeah, I'm planning on making some Necron stuff, as you can obviously tell. This is my Freddo. Can you see my Freddo? Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. Eldar Flying Tanks. One of my favourite races was Warhammer Fantasy was the Dark Eldar. Dark Elves, not Dark Eldar, sorry, that is 40k. If I'm honest, I'm playing the primary Space Marines because it's not. I mainly play Star Wars Legion, but I don't know. I feel like everybody loves Space Marines. You either really, really love Space Marines or you hate them, and obviously a lot of people love them because they're probably the most popular army. But then Eldar are cool, but I would probably prefer the Dark Eldar because, you know, evil people. I'm eating this friend. This is some quality prep streaming, guys. It's like I'll just eat on stream, drink on stream. yeah, I've not brought. We have like an Amazon tablet. I was supposed to bring that, you know, so I could see the chat whilst I was actually making some terrain. Have you thought about Star Wars Legion? I don't know how to get to the chat on my phone, which is what I'm going to try and do, even though I don't have a stand, so it's going to be pathetic. But let's see if I can find my own channel and watch my own stream. This is professionalism, because I don't want to. If I'm making something, I need to be able to see the chat. Granted, you're only going to be able to see the back of my head, but at least I'll be able to see the chat and reply. Bloody Amazon Premium. Amazon Premium. That's all they're ever trying to sell you, is Amazon bloody Premium. Like, you're not Amazon. You're not Amazon. YouTube Premium. You're not Amazon Prime. You can't tell me all that good stuff. So how do I watch my own stream, chat? We'll find out in a minute. Kobe likes Star Wars. Star Wars Legion, I hope. You thought about Legion. I like the RPG and you love X-Wing. For me, X-Wing is a really, really, really good game. It's almost a little bit too competitive for me at this point in my life, because I feel like it's a game you either play it competitively or you play really casually, if that makes sense. And the competitive crowds are not feisty as in angry, but they're a bit like, you know, it's serious business. People know all the meta lists and all that kind of stuff. So the RPG, the one from FFG, there's my Fredo. So I'm trying to get there we go. I've got the chat up on the screen. So I can actually go over here now and still read. You'll only be able to see the back of my head, which is slightly unfortunate. But, I mean, it is a beautiful back of my head, though, to be fair. If we're going to talk about back of heads, then this is one of the best. So, I mean, come on. Just look at it. Look at my hair right now. Beautiful. Everybody's in the COVID-19 haircut mode. So is this wire long enough to reach to where I need it to reach so that I can come over here and do this? I've also been playing about with a hot wire cutter I bought today, but I do not plan on really using it for videos because most people don't have a hot wire cutter, so why make loads of videos about it? But it is what it is. Hey, I'm going to read you on my phone. It would be super casual. It's more like, oh, I love Interceptors, and yes, yeah, FFG RPG. Made me put down the West End. Oh, cool. Yeah. I used to play Warhammer Fantasy RPG, which was really cool. I really enjoyed that. But I've never really got into D&D. This camera is so crap. I have bought a really cheap capture card. I have no idea if it's going to work because it was like 10 quid. So it's a bit of a wild gamble. But the idea would be, I actually have 3 decent cameras, but this one is a crap camera, the one that you see my face on rather than the back of my head here. So I've got, technically in this room, I've got 4 cameras right now, but 2 of them you can't see from. But I've got the webcam here, then I've got the camera I record my actual like face videos on. Then I've got this camera, which is like an oldish webcam, an oldish camcorder, and then I've got this one, which is what I actually record like my actual like terrain videos on. So that's the plan. Now I have already, and I'll hit the record button, because the plan is that I'm hoping I can maybe do both, like 2 things. I can maybe make terrain and stream. Now that's a bold comment, but you know, I see that like as a double whammy of productiveness. I get to talk to people, because when I make my terrain videos, I don't really like, hey, I just realized I can do this. When I make my, this is a double whammy. When I make my terrain videos, I don't really get to like chat, if that makes sense. It's either like, because you got to talk about the subject. And, you know, I've got a beautiful, wonderful personality. Oh, God, okay, that's not true. But, you know, people might like it. My dad and me, also my little brother, are all into 40k and Star Wars. We all support you and watching today. Keep up. My dad is a bit drunk and fascinated by live streaming. I'm not really the best introduction to live streaming. There are people who are like better. This is the first one I've done on this channel, for example. So, yeah, good luck. Speaking of drinking, I haven't drank alcohol. No, how old am I? I haven't drank alcohol for 4.5 years, nearly 5 years. I'm still, I'm still unhealthy, just in different ways. Yeah, I don't know. I can't handle the hangovers. I'm such like a wimp. Hangovers are just not my thing. Yeah, like no, I don't know. It just I don't know. I just got older and lazier, and like when our friends were having parties, I ended up like just looking after the kids. However, now I have a child. We have a 10-week-old baby, and drinking seems more feasible and reasonable. Drinking is like back on the cards. Hi Johnny, it's nice to see you by the way. I'm pretty sure you used to watch me on Tabletop Odyssey, Johnny, unless I'm incorrect. Is that true? I don't know. I felt like I recognised your name from Tabletop Odyssey, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Memory like a sieve. But thank you for stopping by. I do hope you're all keeping well. Well, I'm keeping well. Yes, drinking is good. I've got to say, like, is it good? It's just bad for your health, isn't it? Like, when I was younger, I was all on those, double vodkas, Red Bulls. I was going to say Chardonnay. I've never drank Chardonnay in my entire life. I don't know why I ever would. They weren't my scissors. So, but yeah, I've got nothing against. I have nothing against people who drink. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just I just can't bother with the hangover. So I'm doing like a Necron summoning core. Don't know if you've seen them. This is like, I'm trying to make a template. Everything I do, I always make templates because I can never be asked telling people the measurements. So that's that. Hi Brad, you should join the 10x10 crafting competition on Instagram. Brad, I don't know what that is, but if you're in my Facebook group, I'd love you to post it so I could have a look. Also, like, if it's a competition, I feel like I'd lose and that'd be embarrassing. That'd just be embarrassing, right? Like, I've made a terrain channel and I'm crap at terrain. That's sort of my whole shtick, though, isn't it? You meant from, yes. Yeah, top table. I thought you were, Johnny. Like, I remember you from so long ago, I was like, it must be, because otherwise I'm losing my mind. So yes. So I've made a little template. We'll see how well I can cut this out on the pressure of stream. Can you actually see what I'm doing? Not really. I can zoom in if I needed to. Whoop! Whoop, whoop. Bear with me. I'm just trying to improve the stream by zooming in on my fat fingers. No, why are you slowly going up? It's a little bit better, isn't it? It's a little bit better. Can you see my knee? I'm wearing shorts, making sure I'm wearing pants. Very important. Do I have Instagram? Yes. I believe I'm Terrain Made Easy on Instagram. But I don't go on it much because I'm bad. So, yeah, there you go. I'm bad. I'm a bad man. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. So yeah, just keep in mind, I'm recording a video. I'm recording a video on this camera whilst also recording a stream. So, bear with me, In theory, I really should. Technically, I probably have to prioritize the video because that's my bread and butter kind of thing. But, it is what it is. I'm presuming you can all sort of see what I'm doing. Near enough. Like, it's not going to be precise. Normally, I only have to check one camera, but now I have to check two. It's more trouble. And I knew you were trouble when you walked in. I just printed. I made this template and just printed it onto this thin card that you can get at like craft shops. I think I got this at Hobbycraft. Not very much. Editing that other video is going to be epic. It's not as bad as you think. It's not as bad as you think. I swear. You think it's going to be too bad. Obviously, like I pressed record ages ago and I really didn't need to. But I don't like editing. Don't get me wrong. It takes me forever and I hate it. Like for me, editing is a little bit like painting miniatures. It's a means to an end rather than, rather than something I enjoy. Terrain making I enjoy. Editing I hate. But, it is what it is. I do end up with an absolute shed ton of massive file sizes, which I admit can be a bit of a problem. So I started trying to use proxies, but if I'm honest, it's been a bit of a pain in the bum. What a professional job I've done there. What am I? Oh, Johnny, I don't even think I said. I just cracked on. I'm making like a Necron summoning stone core circle, summoning circle. I think they call it a circle. What do they call it? Here, I'll show you on the screen. Here, let me Google it. So I've set this up. Here, let me. Look, I'm going to show you what I'm trying to make. Firefox is doing an update. Just exactly what I didn't need right now. So, look at the smoothness of this, guys. I cannot see the chat because I'm incompetent. Okay. You joined the group before the Instagram. Thank you. Sorry, I have no idea what camera I'm even on right now. Just whilst I get this on the screen, I'm hoping you can see this. So it's a Necron summoning core. That sounds, yes, right, yes. So we're going for something like this, right? Something like this. Can you see this? I've bloody no idea if you can see this. And if I then, you can see that on the screen, it's not particularly the most large thing. We're not doing the 4-way one because that's an absolute cluster flip. Like, I have no idea how I would even vaguely do that. It's from the game Dawn of War, this, right? So you'll see, I'll show you the terrain building. There we go. And if I show you, this is my template, you can sort of see it. Now you might be the astute if you might be wondering, Jay, where's the circle? I have not come up with a solution to that yet. I have a plan involving some PVC pipe, but I don't have the answer. I think I'm just going to stick it in, but I'm going to have to measure it. But that's the plan. Just crack on. Oh, crack on. It's fine. It's fine. We can see it. See that? It all look. Did it go smooth? Did it look good? I knew people might ask what I was trying to create, so I planned a way of doing it. If I'm honest, I won't be able to do this, but it would be better if the webcam was there, like on my windowsill, you know, like looking at my face rather than looking at the back of my head. But it is what it is. It was smooth. That is what I wanted to hear. Thank you. You know what? I'm not happy with this tripod. I'm going to have to increase the size of it. So unless it'll go any higher. Oh, it will go a little bit higher. Need to go a little bit higher than that. Let's just extend the legs. Sorry about this, just bear with me a second. I'm extending the tripod because I want a different shot. So the main thing I have to, editing is really mainly about filming the right shots. I know that sounds stupid, but if you film the correct shot, then you don't have to edit that much. So that's the plan. That is the plan. So I wanted to just increase the height there because get it a bit closer. So this is what you're going to end up seeing, is how I change my shots in how and why. Well, not the why, because I don't necessarily know the why. Sometimes I just change them so I don't end up with the same shot twice. If I'm honest, I've made a bit of a boo-boo on this one. My camera set, not that any of you care about this, but I had the wrong f-stop. I like having a high f-stop so everything's in focus. Perfect. And normally, if I'm honest, I have these lamps, which I would normally put on as well. Oh, hi, Log Broken. Sorry, I'm chatting away. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing very well. Thank you for stopping by. So I know a couple of you said you were playing 40k, obviously. Will you be buying, I'm presuming you've all seen the box today, which, if we're honest, looks incredible. The camera's slightly yellow. I don't know why, but whatever. Yeah, what is the price limit on that box for you guys? That's the real question, isn't it? What is the price limit? Like, what level is how much is too much? Really, that's really the key question. That's the key question for everybody, I think. I think 120, which is the rumoured amount, probably reasonable. Like, probably. Not enough space elves. Can't disagree with you anymore though, Jay Young. I don't mean to be rude about it, but I just can't disagree with you more. So I have a plan for this template, right? And what I'm going to do, let's zoom in a bit more. What I'm going to do is to make, obviously I could just cut out, I could put it on here and draw around it and cut out the shape, which I'm going to have to do. In fact, I might do that first, because then what I'm going to probably do is these little like indentation, these little like holes, I'm probably going to cut out the card up until a certain amount and then draw the rest in, like trace it and then draw the rest, just so I get the shape perfectly. Hi Tibby, Jesus, that Brutish, how are you? That is an old school reference there at this point. Hello. If I played Marines, I might go as high as 200 US. I'm not. How much was the Dark Imperium in US, Jay Young? Because I do not know. But yeah, so we'll trace around it first with a pen, if I can find a pen. Most of the time, I find making terrain is literally just looking for things. It's like, where have I put this? Right, okay, let's actually hit record. It's like, where have I put this? Oh, I've put that there. Why did I put that there? Oh, I needed it for this thing. So we'll see how... This is, by the way, I'm using this on 30mm XPS, or extruded polystyrene. I tried to cut... I tried a sample out of 50mm, and to do that without a hot wire cutter is an absolute pain in the backside. I sort of expect that this will be a pain in the backside, but 50mm is like an incredible pain in the backside, if that makes sense. I do not read the Star Wars novels. You've just read Inferno Squad. It gives a greater insight into Iden. Oh, cool. Hi, Robin Baltis. By the way, I really like your name. Really like that last name. How are you? Hope you're doing very well. Thank you for joining us today. I realise I've just completely sprung this on everybody, but I do plan, you can't see me on this camera, but I do plan on doing this most weekends. I'm not going to promise every weekend. I've got, I have a baby. I've got stuff to do sometimes, so... but yeah, I thought I'd start, and the best way to say you're going to do something is to do it, I think, so that's why we're here. Dark Imperium was 170, so I think Dark Imperium was about 80 quid in the UK, I think, maybe? Not 100% sure. Yeah. I think. So, 200... That would make sense. That would, to be fair, I think that might be the amount. So I need to cut this out of the foam. Now I'm just wondering, I don't know if you can see that, you can sort of see it. I'm wondering, because it's a big piece of foam, if I should do two. But what I was actually mainly concerned about is if this is the right size for this summoning stone. Do I want it bigger? How is Katie and the little one? Katie is fine, I think. A bit tired. The little one's a bit tired tonight. We had a bit of a kick. I do apologise if we can hear the kids outside, by the way. We had a bit of a kick-off, when she's tired and hungry, but doesn't, can't sleep because she's hungry and can't eat because she's tired. That's the classic situation, isn't it? So, is this the right size? I'm actually not unhappy with that as a size. It's a bit thinner than I wanted, this material, but as I said, if you try to do this with a knife, it's very hard to do thicker than this. However, I will probably make one for myself using a hot wire cutter, just because I find it easier, but we'll see. If I'm honest, I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm gonna do is zoom out on this camera and trace out another one. Just because I'm gonna then I can just do a straight line straight down and make two. I often make two of whatever I'm making just in case one messes up. I'm like, in theory, I don't know if you were going to make these, you probably want several on your table, wouldn't you? I guess. You've not read any of the Star Wars novels. See, I'm not going to lie. Like, I could have got into Star Wars if the new films were any good, but I just find the new films to be vapid. They're honestly like crap. Honestly, they're just chaotic. They're like the new Marvel films, like shallow and empty and stuff like that, but worse. Just alienating all the Star Wars fans, but it is what it is. A lot of people love Thrawn, though, don't they? They love Thrawn. They're like, Thrawn, he's so good. Now, where's my ruler? There's my ruler. A lot of people love Thrawn, so you love the X-Wing series. I don't know. So I think what I'm going to do is make more than one cut here. This is going to be a bit of a problem. I'm not really 100% sure how to do this, but I'm going to have to stand up. So I need to cut out these rectangles, but I need to do it in a way that it sort of makes sense. Oh, this is it. I'm standing up. This is bold. I haven't tried this yet. I'm banking my head on the light. Let's zoom out so everybody can see everything I'm doing. Zoom out across the board. So see that cut there is too long, obviously, for the ruler, right? That cut there, less so. So what I'm thinking is doing that cut before doing that cut and that cut. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Standing up, it's very difficult for me, Jay Young. I'm what people like to call lazy. That's what I am, just lazy. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to do the sideways cut. Now, did I get my knife out of the drawer? I apparently did not. So this is a knife that Blackmagic Craft recommended. I'm honest, I'm not necessarily its biggest fan, but I'm going to use it right now. I got this knife. I don't know if you can see this knife. But you've got to like tighten it, and then, I don't know, yeah, like this. I'm using a very sharp knife, so do be careful. But yeah, it's alright. It is what it is. Totally, hopefully Kenobi will be better. The book wasn't bad either. Having had bad... Oh, see, I mean, you have a real reason, Jay Young. I'm just lazy. So it's not really the same kind of thing. So, let's try it. In fact, I'm going to move the camera. To move the camera... I'm recording in a very small space. I don't know if any of you can tell this, but it's a very small space. So, I don't have much room. It's sort of like a blessing and a bad thing. In this case, it's a bit of a blessing because I can stream and record and do everything together, but I'm going to want the camera on the right side. Generally, I find when I'm doing cuts, I don't want my left hand to be blocking the shot. I do apologise, this camera's going to be slightly in the way. I do apologise about that, but I'm going to have to put the video before the stream, if that makes sense. But don't worry, it's nothing personal. Ooh, you can't properly see. Don't worry, I'll move it in a minute. I don't do all my cuts on this side. Can you see the screen? I was wondering if you could see the other one. So let's see if I've got the right... Because when I do this... What's it look like? Yeah, that's good. I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, making terrain, I find like it's more complicated than people give it credit for, making terrain, especially when you're recording it. Kenobi is gonna be good. You think your bathroom might be bigger than your studio? I would not be surprised. I agree. You had neck surgery, Jay. There is no such thing as lazy. It's called selective. Yes. Yeah, I'm also very efficient. You got to save that energy for terrain making, not damage a small child. I really appreciate this channel and the people participate on it. I enjoy you making it live because I am not so comfortable letting comments under a video. Big thank you. Oh, that's fine, Robin. If people don't want to comment for whatever reason, I'm more than happy for that. I'm happy to talk. I thought making just live, I could just chat. Do you know what I mean? But this sort of kills two birds with one stone. I get to make the terrain and record a video. I wonder if I can zoom this in. So this is where it goes drastically wrong and I probably hurt myself or something. But I'm trying to make a straight cut. So I want to make that the first cut. Let's see how that looks on camera. Seems to look okay. Bring the light down a little bit. Happy enough. It's a little bit off center, but whatever. Right, let's go. I actually probably going to need to concentrate on this one a little bit, so do forgive me if I don't pay you enough attention. But I want to, ideally, not really so bothered about the end of the cut, but I need to get this first bit right. And because it's foam, it's very thick, I won't just be able to slice through it once. I'll have to, want to get the blade down, and I want to get it right up to the, and I'm going to slice it very, I say very carefully. If the mat could not slice, that would be ideal. But I'm not going to put too much pressure on it because I'll never get through it otherwise. You just got to make lots and lots of cuts. I don't need the cut to be super fine. I just need it to cut. And I do apologise. If the mat could not move, that would... Stop moving, Matt. I thought that was the whole point of cutting mats, that you didn't move. yeah, so some people say like, oh, you know, when they make a video and they're like, oh, you could do this just as easily with a knife. And I always think to myself, I'm not sure that's the case. Slightly diced up the desk there, but not really a problem. This is an absolute pain in my ass. Whereabouts is home? I live near, I have no idea where Farnborough Haunts is, but I live near Warrington in the UK. Tennessee. It's cool, isn't it, the internet? I don't know where Farnborough Haunts is, but yeah, I've got to say, this is an absolute pain in my ass, this cut already. But I use metric, or like a sensible person. Tennessee is Tennessee. Tennessee. I don't actually 100% know where Tennessee is. I know it's in the US, obviously, but I mean I don't necessarily know where it is in the US. I'm normally quite good with my. I think it's the South, but I don't know where. I'm normally quite good with geography as well, but obviously not here. Wales. Now I know where Wales is. You teach 3D printing? Oh my God, Jay Young. I think you probably need to teach me. I should be getting into it. By the way, this cut is taking forever. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm also messing up the entrance. Am I getting anywhere near this? Texas. I thought it might have been Texas, but I didn't want to seem like an idiot. It's the buckle on the Bible Belt. How far am I close through this cut? Not at all, really. I'll tell you what, it's a pain in my ass. It's hurting my finger, this cut is hurting my finger. On the video, this will be like a cut this and it'll take me like 10 seconds on the video, whereas in reality it's taking me probably 5 minutes. But that's the case, isn't it? I would love to show people how long it actually takes, but then you don't want to make the videos actually boring. I do have a wire cutter, by the way, just to say. And hi, Jonathan Mayers. I'm making like a Necron summoning stone or whatever they're called, or I'm attempting to. At the minute, I'm just hurting my hand. Don't know if you can actually see the redness on my hand. I wonder if this camera can pick it up. No, you can't see. It's too dark. But yeah, some videos when they cut stuff out of foam, when they use the wire cutter, they go, "Yeah, you can do this just as easily with a knife." And I just think to myself, really? Like, can you? Because I'm bloody this is taking me forever. Right, am I even near? I'm close. I'm nearly done it. My finger is going to be relieved. Don't worry, I've got many more of these cuts to do. Let's get in the hole here. Boom! How long did that take me? About 10 minutes. Took at least 5 minutes and 30 seconds. But yeah. It's a nice smooth cut as well. I will give myself credit for the smoothness of that cut. But I will also say it took a little while longer than it probably should have done. So that's that. Can you even see the smooth cut on this? Can't see anything. Fantastic. Fantastic. But it's a smooth cut. So I'm happy with that. Jonathan, if I could... Let's see if I can still quickly show you. It should only take a second. You guys have already seen this, but this thing is what I'm actually trying to make. I'm going to cough in a minute. Oh, I'll mute myself. Not the one with the 4, because that would be... I can't think of a really easy way of making that. And even this is pretty difficult, but hopefully we'll manage it. Oh, my finger. My finger. So now we've done the one cut. Both these cuts should be a little bit easier, he says, with great confidence. So let's get this one cut done. Jay is just writing technology. Hey, I'm a professional, guys. An absolute professional. None of this shit. Making netcon terrain. Oh god, yeah. If a netcon wanted to like take over me and I don't know, whatever netcons do, just technology, just overthrow me, I wouldn't be too displeased right now, especially the fact that I've got to make another cut where my finger is probably going to bleed to death. But that is what it is. So we'll do another one on this side, but I like to try, once I've done one bigger cut, I want to do like a smaller cut. So not that you can see that, but I'll try and show you just a more zoomed in angle. Obviously I try to avoid having like my kind of coke on the video, but it is what it is. If your finger is bleeding, you're holding that. It's not bleeding; it's just hurting. I'm a the most professionalist. Bloody slagging me off, guys. I am so professional. Watch this. I'm gonna like cut myself for real this time. Let's turn on. Make sure this is on. Make sure it's actually visible what I'm doing. It's always a good start. This is probably the most important cut, if I'm honest, so far. But it's less thick, so hopefully we'll go through. But yeah, it does wind me up when I see videos and they're like, "You can do this just as easily with a knife." Oh well, that sort of weirdly. It didn't snap, but it just did a weird thingy. Oh, we only tease cuts of blood. That's why I'm British. In Britain, we like everybody takes the piss out of everybody anyway. Like it's the done thing. I'm just gonna score it first because like trying to do the first cut. Why is my mat moving? Why is it not stood in one place? I'm hoping this won't take me quite as long. I'm doing that thing. Do you ever do that thing where you press down and your hand shakes because you're holding it so hard? I thought it was because I was weak, but I see like other terrain makers do the same thing, so I feel less bad. I think it's just because you're pressing down with all of your force. Hot glue the mat down. I would, but I need to take it off sometimes. But I guess you can remove hot glue. Just trying to do like a nice 45-degree angle and just slice through it. You don't want to carve through it if you can, because you'll get a nicer cut. Now, I actually don't need like a fantastic cut here. I just need because I could always sand it down, so I don't need like the sharpest cut of all time. God, I'm so slow though. Right, come on. Now everything's moving. Oh, my arm is tired. Not even my right arm, my left arm is tired. Let's give it a little... yes, Jay Young, 100% would. I know that Luke APS did a video on it, and he used like a creme brulee one, but he did it with white foam. Can't see the white foam. But it would actually work. You just have to get it very hot. So a little like, if I was honest, if I wasn't doing this for the video, I would probably go downstairs to the cooker, the oven, or whatever, the gas heater, and just heat the blade and then do it. But yeah, heat does, because I don't actually know why, but it melts the foam and you can cut through it quite easily. So how much have I gone through? I think once you've pretty much done the cut, you can then just take away the ruler and then do it. Am I excited? So yeah, Jonathan. By the way, I have a channel where I've been talking about 9th edition for a while. It's called Rage Crit. But basically, yes, I think I am probably going to play 9th edition. I normally play Star Wars Legion, but I've been making 40k terrain because, I don't know, I just enjoyed it. But yeah, I think I'm going to get into it. I bought the Dark Imperium set when that came out, and then I didn't really paint anything. I painted these odd Space Marines. Like, boom. Because there's no light up here, you can't see anything, so that's a problem. I'll figure something out. But yeah, actually, I'm excited for 9th edition. Give my hand a bit of a rest. But yeah, that's the cut. And if I'm honest, I think it's a nice cut. Like, I think it's a nice size. It's a nice cut. I'm pretty happy with it. I think that's there's a factory edge here which is a bit rippled. I'm showing them on camera, but not you can see over there. I wonder if you will be able to see if I zoomed right in. Yeah, there's a factory, so if I have that as the bottom, it'll be fine. But the cuts that I did are pretty decent. Yeah, not going to complain about that. That's gone as well as I could have expected. I'm pretty pleased with that. This is where I ruin it. Hey ho! Hey, Dark Matter Workshop. For anybody who doesn't know, you should go follow Dark Matter Workshop. I've not actually watched your most recent video that you've done with Eric, but I do recommend Dark Matter Workshop's channel. Yeah, well, thanks, Jonathan. And hi, how are you, by the way? It's weird because me and Dark Matter Workshop spoke a little bit off. Not on YouTube, on Facebook, but I don't want to talk about anything because it's private. so I'm not going to say anything, but it's very hard not to. I am trying to build some Necron stuff. Trying is a very important word here. I just did some cuts, which I do have a hot wire cutter, but I want to try and show that you can do it without the hot wire cutter, but damn it was hurting my hand. So I'm pretty happy with that first cut. Do I do the second one? Which is actually 2 more cuts. Yeah, balls to it. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's have 2 instead of 1. I know it's not good. I know it's not good. What do you think about my setup, Dark Matter Workshop? I'm just going to call you. What do you want me to call you? Because I'm lazy. I don't want to refer to you like your real name. I don't want to refer to you as Dark Matter Workshop because it's a mouthful. But then again, don't call me Terrain Made Easy, that'd be weird. Everybody can just call me J. J. Just one letter, it's that easy. You just built my Imperial Bunker. Oh, that's cool, Brad. I will show you my Imperial Bunker for those of you wondering what I'm talking about. By the way, I saw somebody make this way better than what I made it. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? So, camera. So I made this. This was 2 videos ago. What somebody did, I was like, this is a genius. They made it sort of symmetrical so that the shorter piece was also on the other side. I was like, damn, I literally did not think of that. Because I was basically borrowing the Games Workshop stuff. I was like, damn, people are way smarter than I am. I'll tell you that for sure. I'll tell you that for nothing. Necrons, what are we doing? Channeling our inner Idic Beer. Balls to it. Love technical speech. Thank you. Gert is fine. Thank you. It's brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna do the extra cuts on this. It's an absolute pain in my bum, but I'll show you properly because I don't need to record this one because I recorded the first one. So I'll move the camera a bit more out of the way. Yeah, so I've got. For those of you wondering what I'm doing, I have ordered another capture card so I can have the non-webcam. The webcam at the minute is not really doing anything. I appreciate you just seeing my ass. But yeah, it is what it is. For every problem, there is one person for whom the solution is obvious. My mind is blown. So yeah, I will record it, but I'll just record it from a different viewpoint just in case. These cuts, yeah, it's not that easy to do. I really would like to just get my hot wire cut out. That'd be the dream. I actually, when I say get my hot wire cut out, I literally set it up today. So I really do want to play with it. So it is what it is. Yeah. So what do you make in your latest video, Gert? I haven't actually I haven't actually watched it. And when you say good, like I say, like because I'm English and I'm ignorant, it doesn't sound. I don't know. It sounds like I'm not going to be pronouncing it right. I can't help being English, you know. It's just the way I was brought up. You know what it is. I'm just English. Can't help it. Do the first coat. Do the second coat. Hopefully this one won't hurt my hand as much. I am actually very concerned that I'm going to injure myself on a live stream, because the amount of cursing when I injure myself is pretty severe. Like, no joke. Yeah, and also whilst my videos are probably like kid friendly in a sense that I actually say what kids can do and what kids can't really do, my streams are perhaps a bit more going to be a bit like, you know, the odd F-bomb might drop out. Definitely the S word. Probably just those two, really. Oh, my hand already sore. You're using some European level of cursing. I'm not that bad. I'm not like that bad, especially not on stream. But in person, I'm terrible. Honestly, I'm really bad. So I wonder if I can now cut it. I wonder if it is cut once to get the lines and then cut it. God, I just have no technique at all. You made a corpse farm. No, I 100% tell a lie. I actually saw a picture of it briefly on Reddit. I did. Styrofoam. It's not, I wouldn't call it a Tourette's moment. It's more of a cognizant verbal assault. Yeah, I saw a very brief picture of it. I need to go back and, well, one, I need to upvote it. Two, I need to like comment. I'm just so lazy. It's been a busy day actually. I've sort of fed Willow a few times, and I've tidied this room because I got the hot wire cutter, so you can't tell, but I tidied the room. I know it looks like a mess, but it is what it is. Yeah, so people say this is easy to cut stuff. This is easy to cut with a knife. It ain't easy to cut with a knife. Not if you want clean cuts. It's sort of easy to cut with like like a steak knife. Actually, I'll show you what I mean. I keep this around. Woo! I keep this knife around. But you can't really like, I don't know, you couldn't really cut it, like, I'm not really gaining anything cutting this like this. You'd have to saw through it. And if you're going to saw through it, then you're going to get the jagged edges and stuff like that. So it's like, is there any real point? I don't know, I might as well just keep slicing through it and hope that my cuts are vaguely straight. That's all I can really do. You can sort of tell when you get into the end though, because when you can start slicing in and it's touching the mat, and you sort of come out and you're touching the mat, then you know you've done it. Like, I'm very near the end of this cut, for example. I was just thinking this year, it's so weird because like the Euros in terms of football was supposed to be on. That's not on. It's so weird. The Olympics would have been starting and stuff like that. All the like usual stuff people would talk about. Nobody's really talking about it. Smackator? I'm making a Necron summoning stone. I'm going to very briefly do this every time somebody asks to mainly give my hand a rest because it's absolutely killing me after that. I feel like I'm going to have the worst cramp in the world tonight. I'm trying to make something like this. That's what I'm actually trying to make. Right, that's the plan. That's the plan. And we'll see how I go. That's from Dawn of War. That specific example there in the top right. Well, you can't see it because I've gone off it. But yeah, my hand is sore. I'm getting crampity cramps. The cuts are nice. I'm very happy with the cuts. But the pain in my hand, less happy about. By the way, I hope you like the transitions. It took me all of like 10 seconds to make that because I basically copied somebody else. But yeah, interesting. Okay, literally, it's so hot. It's one of the hottest days we've had this year. But yeah, I do not cope well in heat. Did I make it at least 5 inches tall? Does it have to be 5 inches tall? Oh, it's a good question. It is pretty much 7 inches tall. So, yes. Will it block line of sight? Yes. In the new rules, this will block line of sight. It is, in fact, 18... For anybody interested in my measurements, when I'm finished, I'll be publishing the template, obviously, for free on the Patreon. The measurements are 18 by 9. So, it's twice as tall as it is wide, and that's the plan. But yes, it's a fair point, because obviously the new 40k terrain rules have got interesting rules depending if it's blocking line of sight or if it's the light cover and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't actually followed it too much, but you make a very valid point. I should probably make sure I'm designing around that in mind. So I'm going to actually try and use my cutting mat here to make sure I am doing this straight as well. Hide behind it. Yeah, I'm not sure how many models you'd necessarily hide behind it, but it's a fair point. Why is this? Do all mats move, or is it just mine? Why? It makes it very difficult to cut. That's pissing me off, I'm not gonna lie. It's peeing me off mainly because I don't even necessarily understand why it's moving. Maybe I just need a new one. Yep. There we go. You switched to a safety ruler after gaining patience. I shouldn't laugh at that, sorry Chris. But yes, you have to be patient. These things are sharp. You can definitely cut yourself pretty badly. Thankfully never really hurt myself too badly with a blade. I have hurt myself. I was messing about with a TV aerial and that really cut me, but yeah, blue tack the corners. Yeah, do I have blue tack in here? Oh, I don't know where my nearest blue tack is, but so we should, if everything has gone well, make sure you put your knife away. You know what I'm a bugger for doing? I always leave my hot glue gun on. Man, I really need a switch or something. So these should be the same size. Near enough is good enough, because they're not quite perfect. They're actually slightly different sizes. One is bigger than the other. But whatever, it doesn't really matter, because it's only going to be a comparison with itself. But they are actually slightly different sizes. So the cuts haven't been perfect. That's alright from that angle, but yeah, they haven't been perfect. So that's step number 1. And I'm going to give myself a little break. Have a sit down. Somebody's messaged me on Facebook. I'm going to have to tell him I'm streaming. I'm going to have to be like, mate, I'm streaming. Facebook's interesting in a minute because of the world situation. Everybody's bloody posting everything. So, just joined. What am I making? Hi, Ben. We're making a Necron. It's not important. We're making a Necron summoning stone? Core, I think. That's what I'm making. Hot glue burns. Oh my god, burning yourself with hot glue. Damn. Yeah, Jay Young. I actually don't need to sand them because they're independent pieces. They're going to look the same anyway when I glue it all together. You're not really going to be able to tell the difference. So, there's that. Yeah, and made you burned. You got clearing a... was the printer on? Yeah, I don't know how you would, but I don't know anything. I used to have an FDM 3D printer, but stopped for whatever reason and bought nothing in replacement. I bought a hot wire cutter, but as I said, my terrain is generally aimed at the wider audience. I don't want people to feel like they have to have the special tools. Obviously, doing this with a hot wire cut, I would have been done 20 minutes ago. So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I want to show that you can at least do it with a knife, and that's what we're doing. I am going to make some myself out of this 5mm stuff, if this is thick enough, which it doesn't actually appear to be thick enough. Tall enough. Oh no, it is. It is. Just about. I can get 2 out of that. Can I? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Well, we won't because I'm not doing it right now. Well, let's pencil it on. Yes, the printer isn't on. The clog is solid. Okay, okay. This stuff is dented to buggery, but I will just sand it when the time comes. Yeah. I'm not going to cut this now because I need I need the hot wire cutter for this. Like, this is just no two ways about it. I don't like this bit of foam. It's too dinted. Do I have another piece? Oh, this is sorry. I'm sorry about the noise. Ah. Sorry about the noise. I see your Cog 3D printer burns and made you my cat. Oh, I love cats. Cat, you're not having anything for a cat. I love cats. Now, I'm just going to carve this out on here just so I can... I'm not going to cut this out because it'll be an absolute cluster flip. But I am going to just draw it on. Lengthways. See, technically it's actually easier to do. It's easier on my 3D printer. On my wire cutter to do it this way around. I love cats. By the way, I'm definitely a cat person. There's no questions asked. Cats are just fun. I love cats. They're just so goddamn cute. They're just so goddamn cute. Oh, we're on the wrong screen. Why didn't anybody tell me? Sorry, I mean, I am making some terrain. You can't even see what I'm doing. I'll get better at this. So, as I said, I'm just tracing this out. I'm not going to cut this out right now. I'm just curious how easy it will be. What a ugly cut that is. But hopefully the hot wire, if I have time and this goes tits up or something, I will get the hot wire cutter out and do some hot wiring on the stream. But you know, as I said, I want to try and do the first one without. That's the plan. That's the goal, the dream, the plan. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I'll be doing. I'll be cutting them out. Should we mention that it's still... Oh, there you go, Jay. You know me. It is literally the first stream. To be fair, I'm incredibly happy and pleased that so many of you have stopped by and spoke. I thought I'd have 2 people and it'd just be me and one other person. So I'm very happy people come by, especially on short notice. Obviously, the more regularly I do this, I was going to say I expect more people will join, but that sounded really cocky. I hope more people will join, but there's no pressure. I'm making terrain for the channel anyway, so it's a double win, double whammy, a double win, a win-win, a double whammy. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, that's the point. That's the point. I asked my cat whether he loved me afterwards. He said I was delicious. Good. So I think what I'm going to do next is probably... Are you taking the mic? Come on. Is probably sort the template out a little bit more so that I can use it as a template. So what I mean by that is I'm probably going to cut out... I don't know if you can see this, not very well. So I'm probably going to cut out like up until say something like, I don't know, here. No, maybe something like here. And maybe something like here. And here. And here. And here. And then, oh, it don't really matter where I do it. And then I'll put that on here. Come on. I'll put that on here and then carve out my lines. And then I'll go back in with the ruler after the fact and finish and draw them all the way. So that's the plan. Oh, Ben's off. Thank you. Oh, it's all right, Ben. It's only going to be a short stream tonight, so you probably won't catch it. But as I said, I'll try and make this more of a regular thing. So next weekend should be good. I don't promise anything, but I'll try and let people know a little bit more in advance on Twitter or Facebook or something. But yeah, thanks. And have a beautiful evening as well. What I mean, if you're talking to me, Jonathan, I'm going to play Space Marines, probably Necrons, and then maybe eventually Orcs. I have some Space Marines, but not that many. I could definitely do some more. These were purple, blue boys that I was thinking about trying to do, but I decided not to bother with them. I'm just going to paint in red, purple. So what I'm going to do, you're not going to be able to see this that well. Let's make sure I've got this on camera. I think the baby is heading to bed, but the baby's getting changed. So if you hear a baby crying in a minute, I will probably mute myself. But yeah, it is what it is. So do I do this with a knife or do I do this with the scissors? I'll do it with the scissors. Let's be lazy and do it with the scissors. Orcs the most funnest. I can imagine that being the case. So that's not a great angle for that, but I'm going to try it anyway. Again, I'm doing this more to the videos rather than the stream, so I do apologise. But I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute. So that'll do. That'll do. I'll come back in and cut that off in a minute. But yeah, orcs are just the faction I think a lot of people just like because they're orcs. Like, they're just funny, aren't they? If I'm honest, I've not done a great cut there. That's not better, but it'll do. Let's pretend that never happened. By the way, Caliban Green and play the... No, I like purple, mate. Purple. Have you not thought about purple? Yeah, I'm a big fan of purple. And plus, I feel like purple, I can just pretend they're any faction I want. It's just like, yep, they are... I can call them Ultramarines if I want to. I'll just be like, yeah, whatever, I'm playing them as Ultramarines. So yeah, that's the plan. So I don't want to cut these too close because then it'll start disintegrating and not really be useful as a template. But this, hopefully you'll see what I mean in a minute, but I need to get there first. Especially this corner here, like I don't want to make that too narrow. This'll all make sense. This will all make sense in a moment. Let's go to the line. Right. Now I love my good old Stanley knife blade. I just love it, and I don't care what people say. It's my favourite knife, and I'm using it. So that's what we're going with. By the way, I hope the music is okay, if you can even hear the music. It's basically stream beats from Alpha Gaming, Harris something, and it's free, so that's why we're listening to it. So this is why I don't necessarily like to film on this side when I'm cutting, because you can't really see the cut that I'm making. But that piece will come straight off. Hopefully you'll be able to see the pattern here. Reminds me, Jay Young, all hail the lion. No, forget the bloody lion. That reminds me, I need to see if anybody has any Sisters Dark Angels green. Yeah, I'm not good at, like, I don't know enough about 40k really to be involved in this conversation. I'm just useless. But yeah, I just, basically I'm painting my Space Marines purple because I like purple. It's as simple as that. It's not. I'm not a very complicated guy. Pick my favorite color, paint them my favorite color. Done. Can you see how this is going to be a template? I don't know if that make any sense. Hopefully it'll make sense. I could measure it out on the board, right? But I just don't want to. Oh, don't rip. Bloody Sisters. To be fair, I've not really looked at the Sisters of Battle. I'm definitely pro Games Workshop adding like more ladies into the game and stuff like that. If you're not interested in that, you know, you will not be missed as Games Workshop say for sure. I'm definitely in that camp. So now, so this will make sense. This will make sense. Does it? It looks cool. It's not what it's going to end up being, but it looks cool. So what I'm going to do, put this on here and use this as sort of like my template. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, do I have that on video? I do, but I want a different shot. I do apologise for the asinine, like, I want a different shot. But, I don't know, I gotta make the video. Gotta make the video, Anna. That's the whole thing. The whole reason I'm here is making the video. So, I will do this. I will do this. Can you see that on both screens? You can. So then I'll start recording. And what I'm gonna do, make sure it's actually focused. Take my pen. And then I'm gonna use, whoop, don't move. So I'm gonna do the straight lines. Do the straight lines where I can do the straight lines. It's not perfect because I can already see it's already hanging over the edge there. So what I'm actually going to do is slightly tilt it and then do that line again. That's fine. I'd rather it be right than messed up. Did I do the line there? Can't remember, but I'm going to do it again. If I did or I didn't, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do the line here, this line, and this line. And then we will be left with absolutely nothing of value. No, but we're left with this. Oh, I've not done a line there. What an asshole. What a fool. So I often say terrain is about hiding your mistakes. So that was a mistake. Because I missed a line. Not the end of the world. But, you know, I missed a line. Oh, perfect first time. In the edit, you might never see that. That is the kind of thing that I just wouldn't show because it's pointless. But, yeah. Can you sort of see what I'm doing? Can you see the point? Hi, Thomas. Hope you're doing very well. Nice to have you. You know. Do I know? That is a great question. You know. Do I know? Do I know? It depends. What do I not know or do I know? Do I know or do I not know? Should I stay or should I go? I want to know. Do. But hi anyway. It's nice to have you here. I'm sorry for just riding with absolutely nothing. But you can see where I'm going. You can see where you're going. I'm about to properly go into 40k. Just wondering any tips. Thomas, I'm sort of in the same boat as you. Me and my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, we bought the Dark Imperium set and we were going to play it, but Katie found it a little bit complicated just because, and I've got to admit, it is complicated. Like, the rules are complicated, especially in comparison to a lot of other games, because you've got to know like strengthness and toughness and stuff like that. But Katie, obviously, well, we've had a baby, so Katie's spending a lot of time looking after her, which makes perfect sense. So my tips would be not to get overwhelmed. The new edition, which is coming out probably at the end of July, make sure you just buy the new edition. Don't buy 8th edition, buy 9th. And so that's basically wait until at least the end of July. And my advice is don't buy too much. Just buy like, they're making a thing for 500 points called Combat Patrol. I would just try and play at that level first and not to get overwhelmed, because you can just buy an absolute shed ton of miniatures and never use them. So that's my advice. That's my advice. Good, you know. Sorry, I mean, I didn't mean to be condescending in any way though. Sorry if I came across that way. I just mean, like, you know, it's hard to know what people know and what people don't know. Nothing, no insult intended, if that makes sense. So now I'm just going to fill in the lines. So hopefully you can see that, because I can just match them up where they need matching up. Match that up. Now obviously I'm not going to cut the whole way through that. Actually, in that specific case, I am going to cut the whole way through that. But this will hopefully make sense. So when I make my videos, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is actually, like, I've thought about it way beforehand. Like, I've not just come to the table today and been like, how do I do this? You know, a lot of the prep has been done in my head. And it might not work when you hit the table. Like, when I hit the crafting table, it might be that the thing that I thought was going to work, you know what, doesn't work. Maybe I get my measurements wrong. Like, I created this template today. So, yeah. So Novice can post in the link. Yes, you can post a link. Sorry, I imagine Google would tell you to get lost. I just used the Google and typed in Dark Angel Sisters Battles and got a good hit on, I think in years. But yeah, cool. So we are actually coming to the most dangerous bit of this stream. It's actually not dangerous, but it's the most difficult bit. And that's creating some sort of circle here. But I'm pretty happy with that as the design. Like, I feel like we can all agree that's pretty okay. I say we all agree, some of you might not agree. But I agree. I agree with myself. And that's almost as important. So, the next bit is a little bit weird because I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. Now, I have tried this. I wonder if I can show you. I've made several holes in foam. Now, I might mute myself when I do this because it squeaks and it sounds awful. It sounds really bad. Like, really, really bad. Because I'm going to basically do that. That was just the start. But I'm going to do it in the middle here. So, a couple of things. How do I make sure I do it in the middle? Great question. How do I make it so it does a nice cut? Also a great question. So, I've got plans. And that's what we're going to work on right now. Basically, I don't know if you can see, but I started making... come on, camera? Nope, maybe? I started making like a little jagged edge on the end of that. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then I'm going to measure it so that we get the perfect circle in the middle, like at the right height and stuff like that. Now, how I go about that, I don't really know, but I will know. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Who asked that? What am I making? It's a great question. Whilst I'm having a break, I'll take a little drink. We're making a Necron summoning stone. Boom, nailed it. Technology is great, guys. It's so hot in this room. So hopefully you can see the... keep that image in the top right. Keep that in mind. And hopefully that'll make sense when we come back to this. Hopefully that makes sense. By the way, at some point I might stream to Twitch and YouTube. If I do that, I'll have to make it so I can see both the chats. So now, drill it very slowly. Now, I bought a drill bit. Do I have the drill bit upstairs? Is another good question. Do I bring the drill bit? I did not bring the drill bit upstairs, but I bought a drill bit that is 25 mils. The only reason I'm not going to drill it is because I don't like presuming people have a drill. So, copper tube will work. But if you buy a copper tube, you've then got to... by the way, if you buy a copper tube, you then have to like cut the copper tube. What are you going to cut the copper tube with? What I can say for certain, this plastic PV... hi, Michael Studio. It's nice to have you here. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. It's the first live stream. But so what I'm saying, this very cheap pipe, this pipe is literally like, £3. I don't know. It's not expensive. I got this from Screwfix in the UK, right? But copper tube is... When I researched how to do this, copper tube is what came up, right? Greetings from Poland. Oh, nice to have you from Poland. I'm sweltering in the UK at the minute, but lovely to have you. Thank you for joining us. I'm happy. I'm so happy to see anybody. So I'm very grateful to have you here. I know for a fact that this tube can be cut with this kind of knife, and this is just like a kitchen serrated blade knife, right? Like, yeah, let's cut it on video. Let's cut it on the video so I can prove that it'll cut, right? Because it's very cheap. It is very cheap. What's my the bikes? I was so... I got the Prime, I got Dark Imperium, and I would have bought the bikes, but I was like, they're gonna make bikes for the new one, and then they just sort of never did. But anyway, right, so this is a plastic pipe. Dead cheap. But as I said, I know for a fact I can cut it with this blade, which is a kitchen blade. And a lot of the stick that I do will help paint your scratch build barricades. Cool. What kind of barricades are you making, by the way? The ATV does look good. I will give you that. The quad bike looks good. Damn, you're right. The quad bike is amazing as well. Anyway, I know that this is a bit, I think it's a bit yellow. It is on my phone, but it is what it is. Saying that, I may have that thing where it goes yellow after a period of time. Anyway, the thing on the channel is that I like making it so people can just use the stuff they already have. Now, you know, the best way to cut the circle is probably with a hot wire cutter, right? But we don't have that. Well, I do, but you know, I'm not trying to make the video with that. This kitchen blade, or any sort of kitchen blade, is good. An alternative to the kitchen blade is a little cheap, this is a woodcraft saw, but it still works. It's a razor saw. I got this off Amazon for like £6, but I'm sort of hoping people will do this first. So, here, look, I'm going to do it. Let's cut it. Let's just cut it. Now, everything is shaking. The whole house is shaking, I think. Now, I'm finding that it's much easier when this pipe is longer. I will tell you that, it's much easier. But I'm going to have to prove the point because I've started, so I'll finish. But it will cut. It will cut. As long as I don't cut myself during the process. Bear with me. I never said it was easy, I just said it will cut. Yeah, there's a bit of a trend there with the bikes and the ATV that I just apparently like. Maybe I'm like a biker in real life, you know, I should be a Harley Davidson kind of rocker. No, not really, it doesn't really fit my personality, but I need to make sure I'm not going to cut myself. The number one priority is make sure you don't cut yourself. I think we can all agree with that one. Number two priority is get it done. See, this is one of those things, I'm not even sure it will make the footage because it's a pain, it is actually a pain in my ass, right? But I am cutting through it, so you can sort of see it is going through it. Come on pipe. We're pretty much done there, that'll do. Just snap that off. So the point being that this are a great looking thing to cut. Yeah, so yeah, they probably do. You can buy stuff that'll cut like a little, it's like a pair of scissors, but not like a pair of scissors. And it'll cut them. Yeah, they're perfect. They're like really good. But I just wanted to prove that you can do it with like a kitchen knife. The razor, the like hobby saw thing, is way easier than that. Well, it is easier, but I've sort of got it stuck. But boom, like, you know, tool dependent. But it's way less scary. Yes, sure. I will show you, Michael, don't worry. I'm going to have a break, like not a break, but when I do something physical, I'm getting tired. It's very hot in the UK. But I'm trying to make, and I'll show you first I'll show you my first design, and then you might figure it out. But this is what it's, that's where I've got so far. And that's essentially going to look like something like this, basically. I wonder if this, I've just clicked that, no idea, it's not really made it any bigger, it's just taken me to Pinterest. But I'm going to make that, basically, or something similar to that. And we're just discussing the circle, basically, because the circle is the hardest part, pretty much. It's the most difficult concept part as well. So we were talking about how you could use a copper thing. Oh, and hi Berserker Brian, sorry I didn't see you there. You need a saw. Berserker, I have one. I have me a saw. I have the, I know this is going to sound weird. Alright, this is going to sound absolutely mental, but generally I have better tools to do this than the tools that I use for the videos. But I like to show people that you can do it without having those tools, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I'll talk about the struggle. So I was cutting some foam before, and you watch videos all the time, and they'll use a hot wire cutter, and then they'll say it's just as easy to do without, and I'm like, no, it ain't. Like it's way easier to use a saw to cut that pipe, But if you only have like a really sharp serrated kitchen steak knife kind of thing, you can cut it. And that's sort of like, I want to make it as obtainable as possible for people, if that makes sense. But I have the better tools. I just don't use them. Oh, no, Berserker, sorry. I'm not having I know you didn't know, but I'm just sort of explaining in general. That might be like a common theme, that I'm going to use I might use the wrong stuff. The microphone popped then for whatever reason. I might use the wrong stuff, but just know it's likely intentional, but sometimes not, because sometimes I actually don't have the stuff. So it is what it is, but that's the plan. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't having a. I know you didn't know. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to explain why I do that. How do I just copied it off somebody and then made my own version of it, Thomas. There's a channel called. The channel is called Gaming Careers, and it's called the Stinger Transition, and I use it in OBS. So that's how and what it is. But yeah, that's a great idea. Also, 9th edition will be Netcom model, so it really fits. Yeah, so that's why I'm popping it out now, basically. The necessity is the benefit. Yeah, so yeah, like I just want to show people that you don't have to have all the fancy tools. Like, that is the clue's in the name, basically, isn't it? Like, terrain made easy. But yeah, I don't want to make it. It's terrain made easy, but it's not like terrain made expensively. It's got to be. It's the cheap bit sort of comes along with the territory, basically. I'm trying to do cheap and easy, and you know, I like not making people buy the expensive products. Hi, Just Key. Do you have a recipe to make your own nun oil? Right. So for that, the cheapest way is to get some. I generally will get like I will literally get black paint on my finger and put it in like a tub, and then add water and then like 1 drop of dish detergent, right? But if you wanted to make a really good version of it, there's several extra steps you could take. You could go with some matte medium. You could go with, do I have this here somewhere? Bear with me a second. You could go with, if you want it to last, you can just use water, but if you want it to last, you can then use some pure distilled water and some Flow-Aid, some actual purpose-built Flow-Aid, just 1 drop of Flow-Aid, combined with an ink. But that's not a cheap. For me, the best way, there's also the Pledge wax floor polish thing, but I just like black. If you're doing it for terrain, just use water. That's what I do. I just use black paint and water, or brown paint and water. Oh, don't worry, Thomas. It's a pleasure. I'm happy for anybody to stop by. The length of time you stop by, it doesn't matter. Even if you don't watch, I'm still happy. There's no need to apologise. Like that is just not required. So yeah, it bugs me that Just Key, because again, I was just talking about how I like to do things easily. If you're making it for terrain, just use black paint and water or brown paint and water. If you're doing it for models, then I would just use the actual Agrax Earthshade stuff. If you're like a serious terrain builder, like obviously I'm going to make a lot of terrain, it probably is worth making in a big batch, like getting a big batch. And in that case, you just use distilled water. And then it's like, well, do you want to buy an ink? I think probably so, because they're actually really good, but sometimes I find ink's a little bit too runny, whereas when I use paint, it's a bit better. But I just make, generally, I make it when I need it rather than store it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, what I'm going to do, and this is possibly the most dangerous part of this stream. So if I cut myself here, it's going to be sad. Your video looks good. Oh, thank you very much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, I tried to show you before that it's sort of like serrated in this. You can't see because the camera's being crap. But, camera, please? No? Okay, never mind. It hates me. You can sort of see that it's serrated. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. So that's what I'm going to continue to do right now. Let me get the focus on this. So I'm going to, now this is a little bit dangerous because I'm going to like be cutting very close to my hands and stuff like that. So you can't see it on that camera, but on this one you sort of can. And what I'm also going to do is sort of like, I'm essentially going to bevel the edges, like I'm essentially trying to sharpen it. but I'm going to try and sharpen it on the inside. It's a little awkward. Now, technically, you don't need to do this because I've cut circles without doing this, but, you know, I'm trying to get a nice sharp piece for the terrain, so it's not ideal, but it is what it is. Again, it's probably the most dangerous part of the stream, and I say dangerous as in, like, I'm not planning on cutting myself. No worries, Chris. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. Everybody's got. To be fair, I'll probably only stream like an extra half hour, just cause. If I'm honest, I've not got as much done as I thought I would. Partly because of my hand just hurting from cutting that foam at the start, but it is what it is. I want to cut that edge, but I don't want to cut myself. But basically, I'm going to continue to cut little jaggies. The thing is, I might get bored of this because I know that you technically don't need to do it. So why am I doing it is a good question. Because I've cut the circles without it. I think I just want to reduce the chance that I mess it up, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm doing. Just one jaggy, just like that. Just like that. And I'll just turn that off. And we'll do it on this one. I wonder if I can zoom in on this. This will be interesting. Whee! Look at the technology, guys. What a professional. What a professional. I don't know if you're going to be able to see what I'm doing, but what a pro. Yeah, as I said, you don't actually have to do this. Beep. Try not. I don't want to put too much force into it because I do not want to cut myself. Terrain isn't really worth cutting yourself. Was my big head in the way? But that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting in these jaggies. Cutting them off like that. Can you see? No idea if you can see, but that's what I'm doing. I don't think I really need to. And I might not bother. I might very quickly do it. Yeah, let's see if I can pump up the speed. And just do like jaggy lines in like this. Going one way. And then I'll cut the lines going the other way. Whoop. Whoop. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'll do it later. Sorry, fellas, you gotta go. No, don't worry. Yeah, thanks for letting me know you're going. But you know, honestly, I feel like there is no pressure to stay. Do you know what I mean? No pressure. Well, I'm literally. This has been more exciting than I anticipated. Anyway, like I did not expect this many people, so I'm very grateful to anybody stopping by. So, why didn't that come off? Because you're supposed to come off. Okay. There we go. It's a bit of a pain. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I need to sort of do it a different way. I don't know. Maybe I do it like this. Yeah, that's sort of a bit better. Not perfect, but a bit better. Also, I'm not cutting towards me here, which is good. Not perfect. Whee! Yeah, but this is a disaster if I'm honest, but you know. I'll see if I can tidy that up. Pressure is to stay, enjoy your captive audience. Yes, I mean, to be fair, coronavirus sort of made you a lot of captive audiences in your houses anyway, didn't it, to be fair? So I got lucky in that sense. Well, that's actually worked out reasonably well. I can sort of... That one's a really bad example because it's crap, but you know, near enough. It's not perfect, but I'm getting there. Just do that across the board. Okay. We're getting there. This is arts and crafts at its finest, guys. Honestly, you'll not see better than this today. Well, you might do. It's Terrain Tutor streaming. Lols. He's obviously. By the way, if you don't know him, the Terrain Tutor is, and you're interested in terrain, you should 100% check him out. He's absolutely incredible, detailed, knowledgeable, absolutely everything you could ever want. Absolute legend. Only lives in Crewe. At some point, I want to go see him. Never spoke to him, but I'd love to pop to his studio and stuff. But to be fair, I never comment on his videos because I don't want to feel like I'm trying to grab attention. some sort of like attention freak. I mean, I am, but I don't want people to know that. Do you know what I mean? Got to keep that side of me hidden. Okay, I've not actually done that very well. And by not very well, I mean I've done it really badly. But having said that, having said all of that, I don't think that's that bad. You know, I think that's pretty okay. I don't want to rate myself too highly there, but I think that's great. I've done a fantastic job. Now, what I might do, if I have any sandpaper, which apparently I don't because I've thrown it away, I might mute myself very briefly because I think this is going to be loud. Is that actually going to do? It will cut. To be fair, it would cut straight. Even this bloody straight edge would cut. I know that for a fact because I did it. That's how I did these test pieces. I literally just shoved it in. But having these jagged edges will, like, for sure help, I think. Yeah, it'll cut anyway, won't it? Sandpaper is your favourite tool. It is, to be fair, it's super useful, isn't it? Not going to lie, it's super useful. Here, look, I'll show you. I'm going to do an example of me cutting. I'm going to mute myself because it sounds really bad. Like, it sounds really bad. It's squeaky and loud, and it ain't no good. It ain't no good. Here, I've got a little Stream Deck back from the day, so let me bring this over. And let me zoom out here on this camera so I can show you. So I can show everybody. So, it's a fact, right? I'd love to see you make a tutorial making dragon teeth. You know, dragon teeth. I plan at some point doing some more like D&D stuff. So that could get on the list. I'm going to write it down. Bear with me a second. I have a Google Doc where I write all my stuff down. So that's what I'm going to do. So just bear with me a second. I realise this is inconvenient, but yeah, on my computer I have like a Google Drive, and any idea I get, but obviously some people just give me ideas, but I'm not going to say no. Because I really, it sounds so good. Dragon teeth traps. Sounds good. Probably next year I'll probably do more like D&D stuff. So, plaster and ice. Don't go giving me the ideas now, Jay. I'm kidding. But yeah, I've done that. What was I having on this screen? The stream. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is an example of cutting it using the non-serrated edge. So, like, we've got the serrated edge and the non-serrated edge. And I'm going to cut this. I'm going to put a hole through it using the non-serrated edge. All right? I'm going to mute myself because it's really loud. So, bear with me a second. So that was loud. And hi Wargaming Dan, thank you for joining us today. I was just muted very briefly because I was doing something that's very loud. But yeah, so you can see it's come out. I've got that little hole. So this was the non-serrated side. So this was just pure, this is the flat side. Now it's very warm, which I find interesting. But I'm obviously then going to bring it back through. And I have a brush that I was using to poke out the foam. Now it doesn't look very good on the outside. So let me push this through so it's out. So that's the core bit. It doesn't look amazing. It's not particularly high quality or whatever. And then this is the circle we just made. This is the circle I just made. What I actually like to do is once I've done one, is I will actually just go back in. Now this is 5mm. This is 5mm. I'm only going to do this on 30mm. So, but I just want to try and, like, you know, smooth it as possible. And you know, it's not perfect. I could sand the edges here, but yeah, it is what it is. It's a circle, and it looks the one where it's come out or went in or whatever, it looks really good. So that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So that was the non-serrated edge. That was literally with the flat edge. So if the flat edge can do it, my serrated edge should definitely do it. I guess the key thing is probably that first, like, yeah, I'm not going to do it again because it's super loud, but you know. Yeah, I'm going to stop there, but yeah, perfect. Can't complain, cannot complain about that at all. That was way louder than I anticipated. Okay. So, the actual question here isn't can I cut the circle? We've demonstrably proved that. The question is, how do I make sure that the circle is in the center? Now, I do not have the answer to that. I can put it in like this and draw around it, right? But I'm sort of just eyeballing it. But it is a circle. If the out end of the hole is looking worse, put a scrap piece of foam under it. It's a fair point. I'm actually not that bothered about it. It's not something I'm going to worry about too much. I'm not looking for perfection, honestly. Some things I don't want, I can't be asked doing. Some things I cannot be asked doing. So I can see the exact center of this. That much we know, right? Now I could measure the width of this pipe and then measure out and then draw a line. I could do that. So I think that's what I'm actually going to do. So let's do that. So I've measured, I can see the center, right? Then what I'm going to do is take my pipe and measure the width of the pipe. Now, to my recollection, I honestly expected this to be like 24 mils, but it's not that long. It's 22 mils. It's 22 mils, right? So that's easy. So that means we need 11 mils from these edges, right? So in theory, that's fine. Like I can now come in and just measure on 11 mil. And then I measure 11 mil on the other side. And then I measure 11 mil up and 11 mil down. Right? Hopefully this will work. 22 mils is fine, yeah, fine. I can technically even on these angles measure 11 mil. Because it is a circle, the radius should be the same. So I shouldn't necessarily need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because I can. Right? So then what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to connect them up. I'm actually going to do straight lines. So I'm going to do like a straight line here. Oh, yeah, okay. Technically I shouldn't do a straight line. I'm going to very, very gently do the straight line. Because I don't actually want to carve it in. So I know this isn't perfect, but now, in theory, if I put the pipe on that, it should be pretty damn sweet. So like, you can, let's measure the width there. We can see, obviously I'm showing the wrong camera here, so I know you can't see, but that width is pretty perfect. I'll see if I can show you guys. Can I show you guys? Yep, the width there looks pretty good. And if I put that in, we should be perfect. So now I need to create the circle in that bit. So let's lift this camera up. Do apologise for the inconvenience of having to move the camera, but you know, unless the stream suddenly start giving me like channel growth and money and stuff like that, the videos are more important to me than the stream, and I don't mean that in an offensive way. It's just a fact. But I do appreciate you all being here. I don't want to be dismissive, but I've got to make sure the videos are right. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So, board that hole. We are up to the whole time. It is whole. Now, so I think we're pretty much there. I'm not going to get better than that. Let's see if I can get the footage in. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to mute the stream again because it's loud. It's loud. You might not be able to see everything, so bear with me a second. As I said, the video is more important to me in this sense. I have to make sure I get this on the video, but I will mute myself. I keep peeking the microphone, and I do apologise. I don't know why. It keeps going red, basically, so I'm sorry if I sound a bit weird. I'm going to turn myself down so I don't peak that much. But yeah, we're going to bore this hole using the serrated edge. I've marked it out. I need to go as straight as possible, and that's what we're doing. So I've got the wire. I'm stuck on my wire. If anything, I should put that in the other pocket, Jay, because you're a smart man. You can figure that out. Let's get this light up. Let's get this light a bit closer so we can see this. That light is very hot. It just, okay, be aware that this is going to be loud. Loud noise is better than no sound. Okay, this is going to be loud and squeaky and awful. So don't hate me. But that's what I'm doing. This bit's the worst bit about this. Right? So I'm going to try and get it as straight as possible. And we'll see how it works. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put my head over it. Try and make it so it's in the right place. And then I'm just going to push down. Push down. Push down. Perfect. Am I happy with that as a circle? Made my little indentation? Yes, I'm pretty happy with that right now. And then we're going to try it again. Hi, Angry Redhead. I'm making a Necron summoning core, right? And I'll show you a picture of what I'm trying to replicate in a minute. But we're just up to an important bit, right? This is going to be loud as well. It's going to be loud and annoying. So I've got to cut it. Just trying to get it as perfect as possible. And straight as possible. So let me just... feel free to mute. If you want to mute, please mute, because this is awful. Right, and I'm not going straight there, so I need to make sure I'm going straight. I'm going to push it down a little bit further. It's very difficult to twist it and for it to remain straight. Oh, it's so ugly. I'm sorry. This is the worst part. I'm going to try and do it quickly. And hi. Yeah, sorry, this is awful. It's not as bad as in real life. Oh, that is good news. I'm nearly out. I am out the other side. So that wasn't that bad. To be fair, with the serrated edge, it wasn't half as bad as it was. It was not half as bad. Even the other side's pretty okay. Like, I'll fix that with a knife. That, if I'm honest, has gone better than I expected. So that's good. I'm actually really pleased with that. That's gone pretty well. That's gone really well. I ain't gonna lie. Let's push out the end, but it doesn't really matter because I don't really need this or anything. But yeah, even to be fair, even the centre bit on this one, I'm not gonna lie, the serrated blade has made a big difference there. I think, like a really big difference. Hi, I'm Redhead, by the way. Two things about that. I'm presuming you're actually Junior, and two, what game do you play? Are you interested in 40k, or is there any other game you're interested in? I suspect a lot of people are interested in 40k, and I've sort of been tailoring my channel to 40k terrain, so it would make sense. But yeah, whew, that's gone well. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with that. Not gonna lie. Even the backside. So I'm gonna fix the backside with a bit of sandpaper. It is I think it's Jay Young's favourite tool. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good, and it would fit perfectly here. A little bit of sandpaper. Get me some fine sandpaper. That's not as fine as I wanted. Get me some fine sandpaper. It's a bit on the big side. Let's make sure I'm back on the video. Obviously, I'm presuming most of you know that I'm making YouTube videos. I'll be very surprised if anybody turns up and like doesn't know what we're making. I guess if I ever stream on Twitch, that could be the case. But for now, I presume everybody knows what I'm doing. Yeah, so to be fair, Angry Redhead, the 9th edition I think is what's drawing me into it. I was mainly making Star Wars stuff for Star Wars Legion myself, but then the new edition has sort of made made me want to come back into the fold, as Jay Young is saying. So what I'm going to do here, I know you can't really see this because I'm going to make it for the video, so I do apologise, but I'm just going to sand. I'm going to try and get this sandpaper in the hole. And I'm just going to sand the edges. I don't need it to be perfect, right? I do not need perfection. As I said, I don't need perfection, but that has gone really well. Like really well. I'm really happy. That is good. I don't want to congratulate myself too much, but I'm just really pleased. Yeah, is it in the centre? That'll be the next question, won't it? We'll find out when I do the back. So I need to. Yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah, what faction are you going to play? What army are you going to play? That is the next key question. So, what I actually plan on doing next is to cut out these lines. Now the circle, I may have a bit of a problem. And I'll show you what I mean, right? So, generally, this is a slight problem. Now, do I fix it, or what do you think? Right. So, yeah, look, I'll show you. So, look at this. Look at this. You might be like, Jay, there is no problem. But you see how these corner pieces are actually, they're pure triangles, right? You start with Space Marines, that's pretty much what I'm going to collect. You see how there's no, the circle here, this corner piece, I'm not explaining this very well. These pieces in particular, and this piece as well, it's perfect corners, right? Because of the size of the hole, which I didn't really have much say in. Obviously, if I could make a bigger hole, it would actually mean that the circle wasn't perfect. There wasn't a corner, there was like a flat bit, right? Now, it's not necessarily a problem to just have the triangular piece, right? It's not a problem in itself, but it's not what the original source material looks like. And so just keep in mind, look at that straight, that's a triangular piece. But as I will show you on the example, which we don't necessarily have to finish, we don't have to replicate the example precisely, right? Obviously, but you can see how here there's a curve even on that piece. It's not a triangle. So I could fix it. There is a way to fix it. Let's have a look at a different. See, they all have that sort of like curve on the top piece as well. So you can sort of see. Let me show you again. Let's go back to that. You can see how here, on this piece here, the circle will actually be on this corner piece. This piece will have a bit of the circle, whereas this piece will just have a triangle and no bit of the circle. Now, is that a problem? And if it is, what do I do to fix it? And if it's not, then it's not a problem. So let's think about how I would fix it. One way to fix it would be to make these cutouts to be smaller. But I don't want to do that because I feel like they're the right size. So if I go any smaller, I think it might look a little bit weird. So that's one thing. The second thing is there any other way to fix it? If I lowered the hole, that don't make any sense. If I made it shorter, no, there's no way with the size of this hole, which is using the pipe, there's no real way to fix that. Now I could buy a bigger pipe. That would be one thing. Now I'm not going to buy anything to do it, but it's worth noting that a bigger pipe would mean it would be fixed. Now I do have that drill bit, so what I might do is on one of my own pieces that I'm probably going to just do with the hot wire cutter off stream, what I might do is just drill the bigger hole bit out. Get my drill it through, and in that case it will look fine. But I think due to the limitations I'm sort of self-imposing on this terrain piece, by the way, it's not actually sitting flat, probably because I've done it the wrong way around. Why is it not sitting flat now? There we go. It's actually not quite sitting flat, it's actually bent to one side. I'm going to have to sand that. What an absolute pain in the ass. I should have done it the other way around. So even my straight cuts that I made, not perfectly straight. So I do apologise, this is also going to be loud, so just be aware. But yeah. Well, now it's not even standing up properly, it's completely skewiffed. Sanding, yeah. Well, it's straight now at least. It's not actually sitting flush. Let's get it on the table. You know what I'm going to probably want to do is drill in some screws at the bottom. I don't actually have any screws, so I might have to order them off Amazon, and I might do that right now. You know, like just to weight it in. It's actually beveled a little bit at the bottom. Yeah, but I'm probably going to want some screws. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend you could just put it on a base, but if I want it to stay standing, I'm going to have to put some screws. So back to the problem I was talking about, though, instead of the one where it's just my own making. There's two. If this bothered you, if the fact that there was no circle, like there wasn't an edge here, if that bothered you, I would recommend getting a bigger hole or narrowing these lines. You could shrink them down and then you would have less of a problem. They're the only really two solutions to that. Because the reason it exists as a problem is that these angles I've done exactly 45 degrees, right? They are exactly 45 degrees. If you did more extreme angles, you could get away with you could have I'm not going to freehand the big hole. Hell no. You could get away with maybe like coming down and it would look a little bit more like you'd have an angle. But no, I'm personally happy with it. I don't think it's a massive problem. It's just something to consider, I think. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'll probably have to mention it on the video. But what I'll do is, because I'm going to do two of these exact pieces for the same size, I'll drill one of them. And then with the drill, I will say, you see how it affects that gap, that piece. Not necessarily a problem, but it's not a problem. It's just worth thinking about. I'm personally just going to leave it. But, you know, it's not something I thought about because obviously I didn't know how big the hole I would use would be. Does that make any sense? I didn't know how big of a hole I would make. Now, there's a couple of examples where, you know, that one's not necessarily a great piece. I don't mean to insult it, but it doesn't look that great. You know, on that one they have it. This one does have it, but not that much. Oh, my mum has randomly texted me. She almost never texts me. That one does have it again, but not necessarily massively. That one has it in an abundance. That one has it massively. This one does have it, but only small, only a little bit. I would maybe just recommend, you can buy bigger pipe. You can buy like 24mm pipe. Let me get on Amazon. Not that you can see this, because I don't want you to look at my Amazon. But you can buy, actually, no, let's try Screwfix. In fact, let's try Screwfix. And we'll make it so you can see Screwfix. In the UK, this is just DIY shop. Are all the Space Marines the same, just with different colour scheme, or does they have? They have specific rules, Robin, and generally purists will say, like, if you paint them, if you put all the iconography of a specific faction on, like Dark Angels, people say you should play them as Dark Angels, but just tell those people to get lost. But generally there are specific rules as well, which I understand, but it just makes it a little bit complicated, I think, for beginners. Not necessarily a huge fan of that. So they're not like drastically different, but so what am I looking for here? PVC pipe. Now I'm not going to go and buy another thicker version of this because I'm not doing that, but hey, there's one of those shearers that we were talking about. 12 quid. Not that bad, is it really? But let's have a closer look at that. What I'm curious here about is there's the shearers. I like that. What I'm actually looking for here is the actual pipe. So I bought the 22mm, but there is 28mm. Apparently, is there? No. I want to see the actual pipe. Show me the pipe. Show me the pipe. Show me pipes. Pipe. Nah, I don't want copper, I want plastic. Does anybody know what I'm looking for? Anybody know how to do this? I do not play 4K. Yeah, oh, you only paint. Oh, you do the bit that I don't like. You should paint mine. No, don't paint mine. I'm just kidding. But I don't like painting personally. It's the worst bit for me. I literally bought the pipe. Okay, this is the pipe I bought. Not that much, because that's quite big, but there's 15mm. I swear to God, there's like bigger than 22mm. Blessed are the painters, for they make the plastic toys pleasing upon the eyes. Yes, all hail the painters. To be fair, they are the ones who make the hobby enjoyable, but I just hate painting. It's just not for me. I just cannot stand it. I swear to God, they do like 25mm pipe. I swear. I swear. I mean, you could buy the copper stuff if you've got the cutters for that. Do they not do 25mm? I know they do 40mm. That's massive though. Ooh. Yeah, so that, what is that, 10mm by, oh, it's 25 meters. Jeez. If they had 25mm, I could have maybe have gone and picked some up tomorrow. By the way, this is all, when I make terrain, when I come across these kind of issues, ooh. No then. No then. No then. 28mm. 28mm pipe. It's a bit more expensive than I thought it would be, but that is 28mm pipe. Would it look better? No then. Do I now have to go buy that? I know they do 24.5. Yeah, we call it an inch. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I thought I bought 24.5, but apparently I bought 22. But I wonder if they do have 20. I wonder, what is it, 24.5mm? I swear they did that. B&Q. You can do it when you B and Q it. $24.5 mil. No, I'll just drill it. I have a 25 mil drill, right? I'll just drill it. How big is this hole? The hole it measures about, well, it measures 22 mils, which is exactly the width of the pipe, so that makes perfect sense. But I have a 25 mil drill bit, and that will probably give me that little edge. Probably 28 mil pipe definitely would, but I ain't gonna go buy it. It's just one of those things that I'll mention it on the video that actually 28 mil pipe would be better. You'll end up with a better result, I think. But I only had 22 mil pipe. I mean, it looks okay. Like, it doesn't look awful, I don't think. What do you reckon? Size wise, what? Yeah, I'll put a Space Marine next to it. Space Marine. What do you reckon? I think size wise, it's okay. The hole's fine. It's not perfect. Bigger would be better. 28 mils would probably be perfect, you know. It would not. J Young, it would 100% not be better with Eldar, but the graffiti on it. It's Necron. This is Necron, mate. Eldar was here. I do think the hole would be better bigger. But I ain't gonna make it bigger. No. I'm gonna have a think. I'll have a think. And by tomorrow evening, I probably will have decided. But ooh, it's way darker now without these lights on. Ooh. I wonder if this camera will look better. I can't use when I'm working with the terrain, I can't use my fancy mic. I have a fancy mic when I do my voiceovers and stuff. I say fancy, I mean, it was expensive, but it wasn't like hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Yeah. So this is the kind of thing that what I do is I agonize over this kind of stuff, and I'll be like, is this hole big enough? That'll be the question. Is this hole big enough? I honestly, it looks like I've done nothing tonight. It took me ages to get to this point, didn't it? But I need to buy some screws as well. Is that hole big enough? I think it is. I just don't want to go narrower than those slits, because it'll be basically with these slits. I'm gonna leave some of them in there so that it'll actually look like it's, because obviously things can't actually hover in real life. But hopefully tomorrow I'll be back on finishing this. So I'll cut out the extra lines. Hopefully won't take me too long. And then what I'm going to do is paint some of it white and some of it black, because I'm risky like that. I just like to mix things up. But other than that, I'm going to end the stream there. It's late in the UK. This was the first one ever. It took me a long time to get set up, so tomorrow will be easy to set up, and I might be streaming in the week, because I've actually booked a week off, not just to make terrain, but to do some terrain. So I do thank you very much for watching. Honestly, I do really appreciate that. Hopefully technologically it was okay. I don't know how much you could see, because as I said, I'm concentrating mainly on the video, but it went well enough. I think we enjoyed the chat. I'll probably try and get a setup so I have the have like my even just a phone charger, you know, so I can my battery on my phone's going. But there's a couple of things I'll get set up. But thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Yeah, I had fun talking to you guys, and I made some terrain. So that to me is definitely like a double. It's a win-win. I'm probably a little bit slower making the terrain for sure because I'm chatting, but so I'll probably do some terrain on stream, some terrain off stream. It's just what it is, isn't it? But yeah, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jay, for keeping me company. I do really appreciate that. Robin and everybody else who was here as well, Michael as well, and those people who have left. But that's it. Yeah, have the most beautiful day. Whatever's left of it, I'll be going to bed soon because I'm tired. Yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye. So this is the end screen, but I generally like to talk over the end screen. And the reason I'm showing you the end screen is so that I can see when the stream says, you know, when the stream says the end screen, I then know it's over. So I can now see the end screen. So now that I know it's over, and I'm just lingering. But if you've not subscribed to the channel, like, subscribe. Bye, Angry Redhead. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. Bye, everybody.